Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
And Parvati Devi came. She used to serve Lord Shiva, but Lord Shiva used to be in meditation. They have not married yet. She was doing tapasya to get Lord Shiva as her husband. Parvati Devi, when she came there, she was an embodiment of beauty. And when she does Shringar and the whole spring season was all around, the beauty was incomparable. So Shivji opened his eyes for a moment and he saw Parvati Devi. And for that few moments, he left his meditation and he sat there admiring the beauty of Mother Parvati. There, Kamdev got his entry point. And he shot an arrow called Harshana that created delight in the mind of Lord Shiva. Mother Parvati also had love in her heart. So there is spring season, there is love in the heart of Mother Parvati. Lord Shiva's heart is full of delight. And Kamdev shot his second arrow. Lord Shiva, for the first time, had a desire in his heart now, and he observed Mother Parvati. Very lovingly he was looking at Mother Parvati, and Mother Parvati became very modest and she was feeling shy because Shivji has never looked at her till now. He was always lost in meditation. She would come, she would give whatever necessary there, she would prostrate and she would go. First time Lord Shiva is looking at her and he says, "Is this your face or the beautiful moon? Are these just eyes or blue lotus which is blossoming? Are these eyebrows or the bow of Kamdev? Are these the lips or the wood apple fruit? Is this the nose or the beak of a parrot? Your voice is like the melodious koel or the cuckoo. Her walk and her gait is like a Gajagamini, like an elephant gracefully walking." As he was saying this, the Lord came closer to her. Parvati Devi, she got up and she was shy. She went away. She also had a lot of delight in her mind that Lord Shiva has praised her so well and that there is love in his heart for her. When she went away, Lord Shiva thought, looking at her, there is so much delight in my heart. How nice it would be if I embraced her. This is the next arrow of Kamdev. As Lord Shiva got up, suddenly he felt, what a surprising situation is this? How is it that my mind is overpowered with desire? I am the Lord of everything. How has Kama overpowered me? How could I get deluded and fascinated? If this can be my condition, then what to talk about other jivas? Thinking in this way, he invoked Vairagya in his mind and he stopped. And he started thinking, I was doing tapasya, and who is this who has come and disturbed me completely? And he started feeling sad that I have looked at someone else's daughter in inappropriate ways. I have broken rules. I have broken my self-control. And he felt upset. And he was looking around that who is responsible for this? And there he found Kamdev with his wife Rati was ready to shoot another arrow. And as he looked at Kamdev, Kamdev shot the arrow. But now Lord Shiva is in his Vairagya bhav. The arrow could not do anything to him. The arrow just got destroyed without producing any result. Now Kamdev got very frightened. He knew now that his end may come very soon. He remembered Indra and all the Devtas and everybody came there. Before they could say anything to Lord Shiva already opened his eyes and burnt Kamdev. All the Devtas were stunned. What has happened here? And they started grieving because if Kamdev is burnt, Devtas cannot enjoy. All the hard work they have done, got the punya to enjoy pleasure in heaven, they can't enjoy. All the bhogis in the world started feeling terrible and miserable. Please remember, kama does not mean only lust. Kama here means all types of sense enjoyments, whether it is through food or through music or dance, all types of sense enjoyments. The bhoga vritti got destroyed. All the bhogis felt terrible. All the rishis, sadhus, sannyasis, they felt very happy that now we will meditate steadily. Now kama cannot affect us. Indra and the devatas, they cannot trouble us. But Indra and all of them, they got terrified. They prostrated to Lord Shiva and said, "Oh Lord, Kamdev was innocent. We sent him because Tarakasur has obtained a boon that only a son born through you can kill him. So it was for the well-being of the Devatas that Kamdev did what he did. Please forgive him and please console Rati." Rati is the wife of Kamdev. She was inconsolable. She was crying because in front of her eyes, her husband burnt to ashes in a moment. So Bhagwan Shiva blessed Rati, saying that your husband did what he did for the well-being of the Devatas. So you will be able to relate with him, but he will not have a body. He will remain in the subtle form. That's why one of the names of Kamdev is Ananga, one who doesn't have a physical body. And is it not true that all forms of enjoyment, they first originate in the mind? They are in the subtle form first. Even the carnal pleasure that is enjoyed is in the mind. If the mind is not involved, there is no sense enjoyment there. But Rati prayed to Lord Shiva that, oh Lord, I also need him in a physical form. So Lord Shiva blessed her that when Krishna avatar will happen, then Kamdev will be born as Pradyumna, and then you will unite with him. Till then he will remain without a form. And that is how Kamdev affects the whole universe in the subtle form, through desire, through passion, and then the physical manifestations happen. So this is the story of Kama Dahana. What is important to understand here for a spiritual seeker is, by itself carnal pleasure is not condemned in our scriptures. But when our mind gets overpowered by these desires, our body identification increases, because Kama is that which attaches us to our own body. Any sense enjoyment will increase our body identification, whether it is eating food, whether it is music, whether it is seeing good things. When we are overpowered by these, then our body identification increases. When we enjoy them without any hankering before, without any craving after, we enjoy that moment and we drop the enjoyment. It doesn't bind us. But most of us carry the baggage of our own karma. We have desires of the past, and when we enjoy, we are attached to it, and there is a craving left afterwards. So every sense enjoyment increases our body identification. Carnal pleasure is that in which all the 10 senses are involved. So it's the most powerful destroyer of vitality, of our mental concentration and focus, and our spiritual strength. Hence, for a seeker, it is very important to rise above it, not to suppress it, neither suppress Kama nor completely surrender to Kama. What is required is sublimate Kama. Lord Shiva, Kama had an impact on him, but Kama could not control him. That is a lesson to be learned from here, that we must be able to enjoy the desire without becoming a victim of it. Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda used to say, eat the food, let not the food eat you. Drink the drink, let not the drink drink you. Enjoy as a master, not as a victim. So those of us who have to enjoy must do that as a master, not as a victim. And the ultimate objective is to rise above these temporary enjoyments, because they are giving only momentary fickle pleasure, and they destroy so much of our energy at the physical, pranic level, mental level, intellectual level, and spiritual level. At all 5 levels, desire can destroy our vitality. So those who want to realize the absolute self, they must put efforts to sublimate Kama and rise above it. Lord Shiva is that yogi who sublimated Kama and ultimately burnt Kama. At a simpler level, we must learn to sublimate Kama, but at a deeper level, when we want to realize the absolute self alone, that becomes the goal of our life, then we have to burn Kama. Intense Vairagya and Jnana is required for it.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.